All right. It is leg day today, and today my working set for squats is over here, 195 kilos. So before that, you guys all know the drill. We got to warm up first. So starting off with a 70-kilo warm up. I always find my warm ups are a little bit tacky with training. To be frank as well too, I was sweating a little bit today because I didn't have my knee sleeves. I do not usually squat without my knee sleeves. I absolutely love them, and I forgot them, so it was a little bit upsetting as well too. It wasn't one of those great days. I felt like it was one of those days where everything wasn't on my side. I didn't even bring my belt. I had to use my girl's belt as well too. But hey, look, it happens, and we all have those days. You just gotta go in and get it done, and that's one of the reasons I love programming, because I know I have numbers to hit, and I have to do whatever I can to hit those numbers as well too. Which, yeah, when it comes to that kind of mentality, you know your boy goes hard with that. So this is my third set. I'm on 170 kilos. Okay, it's starting to feel heavy. Starting to get a little bit more depth on there as well too, because I know I'm approaching my big sets. But I didn't really do much reps in there. When I squat and I'm building up to my heavy weights, I usually never go for high reps. So this is my first working set. It is 8 reps. And the first one, depth was okay. Like, it wasn't too bad. I mean, the angle doesn't really help, but I wasn't like impressed with my depth in this first set, and that's okay, guys. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. I find as my sets go in and in with squats, my depth gets deeper. Like, I actually improve on depth, and when I find I don't have enough depth, I'll stretch my hip flexors out, try and push my knees out, and reform my technique as well too. So going into this set here, which is my second set for 8 reps, this was a very interesting one. Look at my setup over here. I felt like I was about to trip, and then coming down nice and low, I felt like my depth was slowly starting to improve. So as I was going in, my low back was a little bit rounded at the back of that, as you guys can see. And I like to critique my form over here because I want you guys to know that I'm not perfect with my lifting at the same time too. And I'm always aiming to improve. And I'm sure most of us always are. And that's how we should. That should be the mentality that we have most of the time. It shouldn't be like, look, we're the best. If we want to get better, the only way to get better is to basically constantly monitor ourselves and be willing to learn. So that's a nice little workout here, pushing my knees out, and then that was good. So looking at this squat over here, one of the biggest things I actually noticed was as I was getting deeper and deeper, I was also starting to control the weight a bit more. And the more I control the weight, the more I had the confidence to go nice and low. So one of the biggest tips I'll give you guys while squatting is control the weight. Control that weight down, feel it, because the more you feel the weight, the more it's actually easier, the more confident you get to be able to achieve that depth that you want to get as well too. Now I decided to film a different angle over here for you guys as well, to get a closer look as well, because that angle as well sometimes doesn't show my depth as good. So we filmed the mirror shot to just see where the crease of my hips goes below my knees as well, and you can see me over here. So that's actually quite deep. So this was probably about similar depth to my last one as well I was doing, and I could actually feel myself getting deeper in these ones. And that's also the frontal look. This is what you guys would usually see when you're squatting, seeing yourself in the mirror. So that is what you use to gauge your depth as well too. So I was pretty happy with this set. However, it was starting to get heavy. I was starting to get a few injury nibbles. My back was starting to hurt a little bit on the left-hand side. I don't know if that was from my hip causing that, but look, it was okay. Like I said, we're not all perfect. You see me placing heavy weights. You see me programming. Not every programming day is going to be perfect. Now, this was a little bit of a drag here. My form and technique was pretty bad. I think I was starting to get over the workout. And I'm like, I just need to get my sets in, which should never be the case. I should be resting for longer. I feel like I squatted for over close to an hour to get these numbers, because I really wanted to get these numbers. So I had a big rest in between these. So it was starting to get to a point where I was like, look, I need to really, really just get these out of the way. This was my last set, which is very interesting over here. I want you guys to watch this. Now, my depth was actually better than my second to last one, because I was like, I might control it a bit. getting to the end, I was kind of like, yep, I'm close to the finish line, so I might just quickly smash it out and rush it out. So these were my sets today, and it's always good to come back and film these for you because it also allows me to reflect on my set and see how well I went, as well as, give you guys a good non-biased insight to my training. Sometimes we don't always hit the numbers as we want. Okay, so now this was very interesting as well. Moving on to some paused reps. The pause one is very good because I could really get a nice stretch in my glutes at the bottom, just a 1 second pause and then drive my hips forward, explosive up. At this point in time, my first set over here, I knew my lower back was starting to hurt, and that's why I was kind of like, I want to make sure that I just get these out of the way. I still got my pause in, and my reps were pretty good. I could feel that hip extension. That was my main focus, to feel that hip extension on the way up, and then got a different angle here as well too. Now, with all my nibbles, even I could feel my wrist here as well. This is another one. So this is probably another reason why my wrist was starting to hurt. Like, look how much I folded my wrist under the bar, which, guys, please, whatever you do, even in the low bar squat, do not do this, okay? Make sure you straighten your hand. Give yourself a nice tight grip on the bar so your wrist is directly under the bar. Feel free to use wrist wraps as well too. My company KXK has got them, and feel free to save. I'll put the link in the bio below. This is another one which was really good, and I like this, but I wasn't as upright as possible. I could still see the activation through my glutes, hamstrings as I came down, keeping my knees out. But I think I was getting to the point where at this point I was super tired. I was kind of getting over the workout because I had so many sets. I didn't have my knee sleeves and I was a little sook. But I also knew that if I don't get this workout done, it will play on with my mind for the rest of the day. And this is just an insight to my life, guys. The reason why I started this train every day challenge is more to give you guys a little bit more of an insight to my life and how I train, to show you that I'm not perfect, even when I post highlight videos on my social media. That yes, I get some epic workouts in and I go hard, I train hard, but my life ain't perfect. Most of my sets are pretty damn hard, and that's life for you. You just gotta work with what you got. So that's what I've been trying to do as much as possible as well too. This is my last set over here, which was pretty nice. I was like, I'm almost done with it. And this is a very cool angle because you can see me come right nice and low, but you could also see my knees kind of go in a bit, which puts a little bit more pressure on my ankles, which is something now I can go back and be like, look, going back to the drawing board, I need to avoid this. All right, next up, we have dumbbell walking lunges. Now, one rule I have with lunges is always touch the ground. But I know there's something here I did that I wouldn't want you guys to do, and I always point those out first because I want to keep you guys safe. When I started to get tired, I started to bounce off the ground a bit. So the reason why I like a all the way down to the ground lunges, I feel like it's actually easy on my knees when I go all the way down, but also a good full range of motion. I can get a nice stretch in my quads, glutes, hamstrings, and get good contractions too. I get better range of motion and it hits harder, much harder. Look at me, I'm gone after my first set. We got 3 sets of this and look at me just buzzing through it. So set up my camera again, giving you guys a little bit of a different angle as well too. And guys, if there was one exercise you could do, okay, drop them in the comments below. If there's only one exercise you could do, what would it be? Just one, okay? With me, if there's only one exercise I could do for legs, it would be lunges because I get so much value out of it. It hits my quads, glutes, hamstrings, which are my biggest muscles in my body as well too. But not only that as well, it also hits your cardiovascular system like a bounce. Now look over here, guys. Look at that bounce here. Ooh, don't do that, please. Please do not do that. Please. No matter how tired you are, please do not do that. Like I said, today was a bit of a rough day, so my workouts weren't perfect, but it's a part of life, Like, I can't expect my days to be on point the whole time. Like, yesterday, if you guys watched my videos, you noticed that my bench day was an amazing one. Like, I got the numbers here today. I was happy. I honestly didn't even expect to get the numbers, but you never go into the gym with a negative mindset. With all the, leaving my knee sleeves at home, not having my belt with me, using the Misso's belt, which is also set up a little bit different to me. I was kind of getting out of my comfort zone a bit, and I usually love a bit of structure with my training, and I love knowing that, look, I've got my knee sleeves ready. At least I got my elbow sleeves, which was very handy when it came to squats, especially after doing bench press yesterday, and feeling my elbows a little bit tighter. So I wanted to make sure. So here's another angle over here as well too. On the leg press, we've got 5 reps. What I'm doing here now with these is I'm getting a little bit of a reset, so I lose a bit of momentum. Not for all of them, however, but I'm just trying to make sure that I get all the way down with this. This is very, very important when it comes to the leg press. Very, very important as well with these, especially going heavy on there. Now, this wasn't the heaviest I've done with leg press. I definitely could have gone heavier, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I really pushed myself, and overall, one of the best things was I got the work done. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop in the comments what you want to see more. Thank you so much for supporting my journey and my train every day workout. Come join me tomorrow. Let's go.